Next topic is measurement of high AC and impulse voltages. High AC and impulse voltages can be measured with the help of CVT, that is capacitance potential divider, or capacitance voltage transformer, electrostatic voltmeters, and peak voltmeters. First, we see the capacitance potential divider. This is capacitance C1 and here capacitance C2. This will act as a capacitance potential divider. Here, a portion of the voltage is tapped across capacitor C2, which is connected to electrostatic voltmeter, and here P is the protective gap. And the applied high voltage is V1, which is given by V2 into C1 plus C2 plus Cm divided by C1, where Cm is nothing but the capacitance of cable and meters, leads, etc. Okay. From this, we know that V1. From this, we may determine the. From this, we may determine V2. V2 can be measured with the help of ESV, and from this we can find the voltage value, high voltage value V1. Next one, capacitance voltage transformer. Here, the capacitance voltage transformer is also similar as that of the previous one. In addition, here having a choke, and we are having isolating transform, that is CVT, consists of capacitance potential divider as well as choke and isolation transformer and meters. Here this potential divider, capacitance potential divider reduces the input voltage to relatively a low value, and this low value is fed to the primary of an isolating transformer to give low secondary voltage. Okay, this secondary voltage would be the very low value. Then the total capacitance is about 10 to the power of minus 9 farad, and this capacitance value, the capacitance value of C2 is chosen in such a way that the voltage is about 10 to 20 kV. Here the voltage would be 10 to 20 kV, and here T is the isolating transformer. Here this T is the isolating transformer, and here L is a choke, is a inductance of a choke coil connected in series with the primary of the isolating transformer, which is connected in series with the primary of the potential transformer in order to tune the circuit. Okay, in order to tune the circuit, so that this equivalent circuit of CVT becomes purely resistive. And here the output voltage, this output voltage of this potential transformer would be here. The output voltage, that is secondary of the voltage transformer, is about 100 volts. Okay, whereas here input we discuss is 10 to 20 kV. Here potential transformer which is used further, we are going to reduce the voltage. Then voltage across this terminal secondary of potential transformer is about 100 volts. Then here the equivalent circuit is shown here. Here the value of tuning choke is chosen in such a way that it should be an purely resistive, or to bring the resonance condition. We know that when the resonance will occur, XL equal to XC, the resonance will be going to occur. Here L is the inductance of the choke, and LT is the equivalent inductance of the transformer, which is referred to the HV side. The secondary is referred to the primary side. And here we derive that derivations, the phasor diagram for various components. Here the meter reactance is neglected, and that load resistance is taken. Okay, load resistance is taken. Then the voltage across the potential transformer is given by this. If we neglect that meter reactance and taken that load resistance Rm, means then the voltage across the potential transformer is Im Rm. At the same time, the voltage across the capacitor would be Im into Re plus Jxe. Okay, then here total current phasor diagram we taken V1 as the reference phase, and the total voltage equal to VC1 plus VC2. Then total current is IEM plus IC. Okay, then finally we will derive that voltage ratio A equal to V1 by V2. Here this reactance is neglected. That is the reactance drop. Xm Re is omitted, and here VRI is only considered. Okay, VRI is the voltage across the tuning inductor and the transformer resistance, and here this voltage V2 is in phase with V1. Next, advantages of CVT. Then this capacitance voltage transformer is simple design and easy to implement, and can be used for both, that is voltage measuring device for meter, or the CVT is also used for relaying purpose. Okay, then frequency independent voltage distribution along elements. Here you are having that choke in series with that potential transformer, so it is a frequency dependent, and this provides the isolation between your high voltages and low voltage metering. Okay, this CVT provides the isolation of high voltages and low voltage side. The disadvantages is voltage ratio is vary according to the temperature variation, and there is the problem regarding the ferroresonance effect. Next topic is electrostatic voltmeters. In electrostatic fields, the attractive force between the electrodes of a parallel plate capacitor is given by this equation. Here you see that V is the applied voltage between the plates, and C is the capacitance between the plates, and A is the cross section, and D is the dia of plates, and S is the separation between the electrodes. Then permittivity of the medium is considered as epsilon naught, and Ws is the work done. Okay. In electrostatic voltmeter, what is that basic principle behind it? It means you are having two electrodes, that is one electrode is fixed, then another electrode is moving. In that moving electrode, that the pointer is connected. Okay, this pointer, according to that movement, the pointer indicates the value. This is the basic principle behind in electrostatic voltmeters. Okay, this is the construction of electrostatic voltmeters. Okay, first one, it shows that absolute electrostatic voltmeter. This is the fixed plate. Here having H is the rings, and here B is the balancing. Okay, based on that applying voltage, it is going to vary. Here high voltage is applied to the fixed electrode. Here you see that high voltage is applied to the fixed electrode, and here this is the moving electrode. This one is the moving electrode, then this is the guard ring. This is the guard ring, and here you see that R is the balancing weight and all. In that moving electrode, here light source is connected. According to this moving electrode, this scale is going to vary. Okay, that is electrostatic voltmeter consists of two parallel plate electrodes. One is that fixed one, another one, before I said that this is a moving electrode. Okay, which is separated by a small distance. Then here this fixed electrode, which is connected to a this high voltage supply, is fed to the fixed electrode, and the fixed guard ring here, in that moving electrode we are having that guard ring here. Both the terminals we are having the guard rings to ensure that what is that function of that guard ring means, to provide that uniform field distribution in order to avoid corona at the edges. And here the gap distance, yes, this gap distance S is adjusted, that the electric field stress is equal to the safe working stress allowable in the dielectric medium. And here a small mirror, this one, according to that light rays, this mirror reflection will be available here. Okay, a small mirror M is fitted on that moving system, and the scale, this scale constitute an indicating system. Okay, here the damping force is obtained through two air van dampers here. Here you are having the damper. So the damping torque would be provided by means of this van dampers. And the range of instrument is changed by varying the gap separation. Okay, the range is varied by varying the gap separation. And the design of electrostatic voltmeters is used to measure RMS value up to 600 kV. By using electrostatic voltmeter, we can measure up to 600 kV RMS value. Then this electrostatic voltmeters are usually uh, have a small capacitance in the range of few picofarad, and which has a high insulation resistance in the order of 10 to the power of 7 megohms. And generally these instruments have an extremely high impedance meters, and by using this meter have an upper frequency limit of about 1 megahertz. Next topic is peak voltmeter. This arrangement was suggested by Chubb and Fortescue for measurement of peak values of high AC voltages against the earth. Then here you see that it consists of capacitor and two diodes D1 and D2, which are connected in anti-parallel, and here having that moving ion instrument, that is moving coil, milliammeter here you are having connected. Then this is the protective device. Okay, the displacement current, here you see that when a capacitor is connected to a sinusoidal voltage source, then the charging current is given by the, then current I naught equal to j omega CV, where V is the RMS value, then omega is the angular frequency, that is 2 pi f. Then here this displacement current, here this displacement current IC of t is subdivided into positive as well as negative components by the back to back connected diodes. Then the drop across D1 and D2 are ignored while measuring high voltages. Okay, this is that waveform. This is for IC of t during D2 condition. Then this half is for D1 portion. Then this DC meter reading. DC meter reading is proportional to the peak value of that value Vm, which is given by 1 divided by 2 pi Fc. I divided by 2 pi Fc. I is the DC current shown by the meter, and C is the capacitance of the capacitor. And here due to this false minima and errors are occurring in this is mainly due to that under normal operating condition that this waveforms do not occur, and so do not give any errors. But pre-discharge currents during that test case can cause very short duration of voltage drops, which introduces the error. Okay, which introduces the error. This problem can also be overcome by using the resistance R in series with the capacitor. If you use that resistance in series with the capacitor, then the error can be reduced. Then the error due to that resistance may be given by del V divided by V equal to this value, where V is the actual value and Vm is the measured value. Okay, in determining the error, then you may find that actual value of angular frequency has been determined.